a vocal Republican high school student? I didn't believe it either. That isn't until I met Presidency. I'm Nicholas Cantatore, and this is the Franklin Pierce Presidency and the Press Political Podcast. I'd like to introduce you to Brendan Sika from Laconia, New Hampshire. He currently attends Bishop Brady in Concord, and he's doing quite well. He's the president of the drama club, captain of the swim team, and is also an Eagle Scout. And Brendan, correct me if I'm wrong, but the word around the street is that you're also a Republican.
That is correct, Nick.
So you stated before that your family comes from very split political beliefs. So have you ever had to hide your political beliefs from other people, particularly in school?
Fortunately, I come from a fairly accepting family where we can talk about politics right at the dinner table and still, at the end of the day, come to agree to disagree, if you will. And so, as far as school, I think it's just the acceptance that, you have to tolerate other people's beliefs. So I haven't exactly had to hide them from other people.
So you're a Republican, of course, everyone knows, but you're not necessarily a Trump supporter per se. So what are your thoughts on how the Trump administration is handling things in D.C.?
Well, I'd like to make that clear that I am not a Trump supporter. I find that the Trump administration is almost its own political entity, and the way it's currently handling things is subpar for the Oval Office, and I don't think many Republicans would come to agree, or they would come to agree, that the Trump administration isn't handling things well.
So in regards to that, President Trump has tweeted some very unusual things over the past few weeks, including an attack on an NBC reporter, Mika Brzezinski, saying that she was bleeding badly from a facelift. So what are your thoughts on the president's constant tweeting?
Well, I think that obviously you see with this quote, it sounds like a teenage boy talking in a locker room. And the Oval Office is not a locker room. And so many of his tweets, I'll specify there, do not belong on social media, whether you want to say he's, getting word out to the public or not. They're just inappropriate and, do not reflect well of his administration.
So, Brendan, you also mentioned pursuing a future in politics as a possible career choice. Which side of the aisle do you think you'll lean most toward, a moderate Republican or more of a far-right Republican?
Probably moderate, and as we've talked before, I think there really isn't any way to classify yourself as either a moderate or a far left or right, because depending on the forum that you're in, it's always going to vary what other people consider far left or right. So as far as future careers, I'm thinking maybe broadcasting or some sort of a political background.
So, yeah, thank you for taking your time to be here, Brendan. This is Nicholas Cantori from the Presidency and the Press Political Podcast, signing off.